Hello there, students. This is Mr. Humphreys, and we are on Part B of Section 1.4. I am on page 31 in your textbook, and you can see in the gray area where it talks about a formula. It says a formula is an equation that states a relationship among quantities. Formulas are special types of literal equations. Underline that. Formulas are special types of literal equations. That means formulas are always going to be literal, see if I can say it here, literal equations. Some common formulas are given below. Notice that some of the formulas use the same variables, but the definitions of the variables are different. I want you to look over the chart yourself. Take about 30 seconds, look over it, pause the video. And now let's do rewriting a geometric formula problem 3 under the Got It section. The problem says, what is the height of a triangle that has an area of 24 inches and a base with a length of 8 inches? Now this is going to be pretty easy. What is the height of this triangle? You've done this before. Now I'll show you the way that you've probably done it. You've written down the formula. So we have area, A equals 1/2 base times height. That's the formula for area of a triangle. We could plug in the area, which we know is 24. We know the base is 8. And we want to find the height. Now we could take 24 equals 1/2 of 8, which is 4h. Divide both sides by 4. And we get the base as 6 inches. Now, if we actually solve this equation for the height, which means solve it for h, we could actually solve it for h without plugging anything in. So in order to get rid of the 1/2, we can multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2. That gives us 2a equals base times height. Since I want to eliminate the times b, that means I divide both sides by b. So the height, in order to find the height, I would take twice the area and divide it by b. So if you plugged it in, twice the area, what was the area? The area was 24. So 2 times 24 is 48. Divided by the base, which is 8, that gives us 6 inches as our height. So we can manipulate equations and formulas to help us find the variable that the question is asking. So now I want you to do numbers 5 and 6 on your own. Pause the video and then I will tell you what to do. The correct answer is 7 centimeters. Now I've shown you 2 separate ways that you can do this. And once again, I don't care how you solve this. It's completely up to you. So you could have either one of these. You could have solved the perimeter equation for W by first subtracting 2L and then dividing by 2. And you would have gotten P minus 2 times the length divided by 2. You could have plugged in the 84 here, the 35 here, and you have gotten the same answer of 7. Or you could have just taken your equation, plugged stuff in, and solved for W. Either answer is acceptable. And on number 6, you could have also just plugged it into the equation, or as I've shown, solved the equation first for H, plugged it in, and gotten the correct answer of 75 yards. Either way you do it, as long as you get 75 yards, is acceptable. We are now on problem 4, rewriting a formula, under the Got It section. Pacific gray whales migrate annually from the waters near Alaska to the waters near Baja California, Mexico, and back. The whales travel a distance of about 5,000 miles each way at an average rate of 91 miles per day. About how many days does it take the whales to migrate one way? So, if you look at the formulas on page 31, we need to know the formula D equals R times T, where D is the distance, R is the rate, and T is the time. Since this problem asks of how many days, we want to find what T is. So let's get the T by itself. So all I have to do is take and divide both sides by R. That would give me T equals the distance divided by the rate. What is the distance of these whales? 5,000 miles divided by 91 miles per day. So miles divided by miles, that's going to cancel. So we're going to be left with the number of days. So 5,000 divided by 91, you get something like 54.945, etc. Well, since we're approximating, you're not going to say to someone 54.9 days. So we're going to approximate and say about 55 days. Now, there's another way to write that. If you ever want to say approximately looks like that, like an equal sign but squiggly. So you could also say approximately 55 days. Let's now look at the practice A problem number 7. Baseball. You can use the formula A equals H divided by N to find the batting average A of a batter who has H hits and N times at bat. Step 1, solve the formula for H. So we want to isolate the H, which means I have to get rid of a divide by N. I times both sides by M. That gives me H equals AN. If the batter has a batting average of .290 and has been at bat 300 times, how many hits does the batter have? So we would just take A, which is the average. So that would be 0.290 times the N times at bat, which is 300. So how many hits does the batter have? The number of hits would be 87.